Before we get into today's video, tax time is here. That means wheels are on sale from all your favorite brands. Check out our website. There's an on sale section now in the top little bar header thingy. Go there, see what you can get with your tax refund for less than you might think. Also, as a reminder, we mount, balance, and ship for free. As you can see these right here behind me, guess what? Mounted, balanced, and we're gonna ship them out for free. Anyway, let's get into today's video, which is helpful information, but disclaimer, this is not legal advice. Laws vary by jurisdiction. Always consult a qualified attorney for specific guidance. The lawyers made us put it in there, so I'm going to say it, and they are no fun. You, yes, you, are hanging out at a car meet. Music's bumping, everyone's checking out each other's rides, snapping photos for the gram, although it's probably TikToks in 2025, when suddenly red and blue lights appear on the perimeter. Yep, you are blanked. The cops have arrived. Now what? It's one of those moments that sends a jolt through the crowd. Some people scramble to their cars, others stand around acting nonchalant, and a few poor souls are trying to figure out if they are about to get a massive ticket for something random. Exhaust noise, front plates, tire poke, or whatever the cop decides to write them up for. Cop visits at meets can range from chill, where they just want everyone to keep it down, to tense, especially if you're in an area, California, known for strict enforcement or rowdy meets. Important caveat, and again, oh, the lawyers put it in here twice. This script is not legal advice. Laws differ from place to place, and how cops handle car meets can vary wildly. If you have questions about your rights, consult a qualified attorney or do some serious research on local statutes. What follows is a general guide to keep your cool, understand some basics, and hopefully avoid a night in the back of a squad car. But if you listen to the wheel company for legal advice, I simply cannot help you.
My bad, Mom. My bad.
Let's dive into the practical steps you can take when the boys or girls in blue show up uninvited, and how you might protect yourself from tickets or something bigger. So let's start with the big question before we get into your rights. It helps to know why cops crash car meets in the first place. 350Z exhaust, that's it. Noise complaints, obviously loud engines, revving, music, neighbors or nearby businesses, usually will call the police if the noise gets out of hand. Trespassing or private property issues. If you are in the parking lot of your local grocery store without proper permission, guess what? The property owners don't want you being an idiot, and security is going to call it in. Street racing or reckless driving concerns, burnouts, donuts, launch control, two-step, whatever, any stunts that can cause accidents or endanger bystanders. Guess what? Cops have a zero tolerance policy for that. They will show up. General loitering or safety, large gatherings can attract trouble or minor crimes like theft, fights, someone pulling out that thing on them. Police might arrive just to keep an eye on things or to disperse a crowd they view as a risk. Also, if you are planning on going street racing, the cops are probably aware of that, and there you go. In many cases, police presence is not a personal attack on car enthusiasts. They are responding to calls or trying to prevent rowdy behavior. That being said, some officers might be stricter than others, and local laws or crackdowns in specific areas can turn a chill meet into a tense situation. Understanding this context can help you remain calm when they appear, because they probably have an agenda, either to diffuse potential chaos or enforce the law if they see something blatantly illegal. Not in the script, but most cops that I have met in my experience as an enthusiast are car guys. They like cool car stuff. If you are being stupid, they will write you a ticket for being stupid. If you just have a cool car, they're gonna be like, yo, your car's cool, don't be stupid.
You don't have to go home, but you gotta get out of here. Especially if you drive a slow Honda.
Now again, not legal advice. General overview of rights commonly recognized in many parts of the US and somewhat similarly in other countries, although laws vary wildly. I think the writer is trying to get me in trouble for offering advice on international law. Right to remain silent. In most cases, you do not have to answer police questions about where you have been, what you are doing, or who you are with. Politely stating, I am exercising my right to remain silent is allowed, but honestly, you probably just shouldn't do it if you're not doing anything illegal. Be prepared for cops to keep asking in that situation or potentially escalate. Next, police generally do need probable cause or your consent to search your person, your car, or your belongings. If an officer asks, mind if I take a look, you can politely decline. However, if they smell contraband or see something illegal in plain view or claim probable cause, they might search anyway. There's a caveat to this in California. They can legally pop your hood. It's not a search, it's a roadside inspection. Third, you have a right to leave if not being detained. If you're not under arrest or officially detained, you usually have the right to leave. You can ask, am I being detained or am I free to go? If they say you can go, then guess what? Go, bro, you should leave right then and there. Right to record in many places, filming police in public is often allowed, as long as you are not interfering with their duties. Check your local laws to be sure, and just, guys, generally just don't be a dick about this. Identification requirements in some states. If an officer has a reasonable suspicion of a crime, they may ask you for your ID. Failing to provide it, if it's legally required, could lead to an issue. Also, if you are driving, you have to give them your ID. Familiarize yourself with stop and identify laws in your state. Now, general tip, even if you believe an officer is acting outside their authority, it is better to settle this in a courtroom than on the spot. Remain calm, cooperative, and address your grievances later through proper channels. Do not escalate it on the spot. That's how you wind up in the back of a cop car. Generally, guys, cops at car meets are not looking to arrest you unless you have stuff I can't say on YouTube on you. Just don't be and you won't go to jail. Now, when the cops roll into the meet, your first instinct might be to smash that gas and peel on out of there, but that can raise suspicion. Why are you running? If you didn't do anything illegal, you might look guilty. Now, on the flip side, sticking around could lead to a random ticket for a minor infraction like trespassing or loitering or whatever, or you might get corralled in if the police decide to shut down the meet. This happens a lot in like the LA area. If you're in a parking garage, they'll literally just post up at the exit. Consider these points. If the meet is on private property with permission, if you're legally allowed to be there, you might not have to leave unless the property owner decides otherwise or the cops declare an unlawful assembly. Generally, if you're at like a Cars and Coffee in the morning and it's at like an automotive business, you're probably there legally. Typically, if you're minding your own business and you're not violating noise or street racing or reckless driving or whatever laws, you might be okay staying put unless the cops specifically order everyone to leave. Now, if it's a public space, you generally have the right to be in public space unless that area is closed off or an emergency order is issued. If you see things escalating, like someone doing burnout, someone racing, someone fighting, and the police arrive, you probably don't want to be there to see where things go. Check for potential violations, loud exhaust, illegal modifications, expired tags. Cops can ticket you for these if they notice, and if they're there, they're probably noticing. If your car is questionable, you risk an on-the-spot inspection. Sometimes leaving calmly before they approach you is the safer bet, assuming you are legally free to go and you have a driver's license and insurance and all that. Now, if an officer says you cannot leave, if they're like, yo, guys, do not leave, we are ticketing you, you're being detained. Ask politely if you're free to go. If they say yes, you can walk or drive on off calmly. Do not speed out like you're in that scene in Too Fast, Too Furious where they pull out of the parking garage. Ultimately, the decision to stay or go depends on the vibe and your comfort level. If the meet is turning chaotic or cops look like they're handing out fix-it tickets left and right, it might be best to just exit stage left. That was stage right. With minimal fuss. Wait, that was stage left. I mean, I'm on stage, so stage left?
Go. You don't care about... Go. I was asking about Minnesota.
Okay, now that that's done. Generally, as an aside, if you are wondering, you cannot be ticketed for standing in a parking lot in most cases, unless there's some local loitering or trespassing law in effect and they really want to enforce it. But here's the big one. If the meet is on private property without permission, that's kind of trespassing. If you're in a public space after hours, like a park that closes at dusk, that could also be illegal. Cops could and will usually cite you for that. Now, moreover, if your car has modifications that are not street legal, illegal exhaust decibels, tinted windows beyond the legal limit, no front plate, lowered, tire poke, whatever, they can and usually will again ticket you for those, especially once they spot them. Now, parking lot or not, if your car is in plain view with illegal mods, you are vulnerable. This really depends state to state. If you're in Florida and you have like a smokestack on your diesel, you're fine. In California, you're going to jail. Typical reasons cops might ticket or warn you. Noise violations, as we discussed. Equipment violations, so things like undercar neons, where they're illegal, tinted headlights, wheel lights, rock lights, stuff like that. Big one is registration, insurance, expired tags, no insurance proof. It just shows you're not a responsible person. Reckless driving, donuts, burnouts, fast starts, launch control, whatever. Loitering and trespassing. Again, if the property owner wants you gone, just don't be there. If you are just chilling out, you're not causing a ruckus, your car is fairly compliant, it's less likely they'll randomly slap you with a ticket. But can happen if an officer is in a mood, they're human beings too, or if local laws are super strict. Police also sometimes, depending on your state, set up checkpoints near known meet spots or racing spots, pulling over anyone that they suspect. That's where having your paperwork and your car in order can save you a big hassle. So what if they ask to search your car? Well, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but it's a little more in depth. And often when cops arrive at a meet, they might walk around, shining flashlights into the car interiors or ask to look under the hood. If you're in any state but California, you don't have to automatically say yes. Typically, they need probable cause, like seeing contraband or smelling illegal substances, or your consent to perform a search. However, in the state of California, popping your hood is not a search. It's a roadside inspection. So if you say, no, officer, you can't pop my hood, guess what, bro? Jail. They are just going to take you to jail and then pop your hood and write the ticket. So in the state of California, pop your damn hood when they ask you. I'm tired of seeing YouTubers go to jail for this. Now, probable cause kind of relates. If they see something illegal or they smell something suspect, like the leafy plant in states where it's not legal, they may proceed without your consent. If you have a warrant, why are you at a car meet? Typically, they would need a search warrant to conduct a thorough search, but if you have a warrant, guess what? They kind of have a warrant. They'll just proceed. Pro tip here, keep your car tidy. If you have questionable items like an unregistered thing or like a green leafy plant, do not have them in visible sight. If you have modifications that are illegal or borderline illegal, either don't do them to your car or try to keep them to a minimum. Attitude matters. Be polite, but firm. Do not be combative. Keep your hands visible. Do not make sudden movements. Do not do this. This is a bad movement. And calmly state, you do not consent if you're unsure. If they do find something illegal, like open containers or contraband, you are in deep trouble. So if you are carrying anything that you probably shouldn't be carrying, don't bring it to a car meet. There's an old saying, don't commit a crime while you're committing a crime. If you're going to a meet and you know the cops might show up, it is not the place to show off your unregistered blicky. You know what I'm saying? So tips to avoid some trouble. Know the spot. If the meet is at a location known for police crackdown, so as an example, in Southern California, if you're going to Irvine, if you're on private property without permission, expect a higher risk. Pick meets in sanctioned areas or with a positive reputation for being drama-free. Respect everyone around you. Do not rev your engine to 8,000 RPM at 2 a.m. Do not show off your new 12-inch kicker subs so loud that they rattle windows. Minimize noise. It keeps the cops away. Avoid illegal activities. It's obvious. Do not do burnouts. Do not drift in a crowded parking lot. Do not do the street takeover thing. That's just a general one. If you're just hanging out, you're less likely to get singled out. Do not show off ripping a sick burnout. You're just going to go to jail for it. Keep your mods either legal or less obvious. If your state has laws against exhaust systems or similar, consider the risk. You can enjoy a modded car, but be smart about what's visible. That's why having like a valved exhaust that looks kind of OEM matters. Keep your paperwork up to date and ready. License, registration, proof of insurance. Keep them in an easily accessible place. Try not to keep them like in your center console. Be like, officer, I have to reach in here. Yeah, no. And biggest thing is stay calm. If the cops show up, just don't panic. Maintain a polite, respectful demeanor. Escalating or getting mouthy literally never helps. If an officer says the meet is over and tells everyone to leave, hey, guess what? Leave, bro. Just leave. Quietly. Do not rip a burnout as you exit. Just take your thing, go to your car, and leave. I see so many people be like, no, bro, I'm here because I'm at the boba spot. And they stand there drinking their boba and they get a ticket, right? Follow these things, you reduce the chance of a harmless meet turning into a legal headache. There are good traffic lawyers all over the country. They cost money. None of us have money right now, so I recommend not doing this, right? So let's say the worst happens. Well, like not quite the worst, but like kind of the worst. You get ticketed for a loud exhaust or tinted windows or some other vehicle-related violation. Here's a quick rundown. Stay calm. Accept the ticket politely. Do not argue on the spot. They are not going to tear up the citation because you cited some random law. Check the citation details. Make sure your name, your vehicle info, and the cited offenses are correct. If they are incorrect, do not let the cop know that they are incorrect. That can help you. Court options. Depending on the violation, you might be able to pay the fine, fix the issue, or fight it in court. Some states offer fix-it tickets, meaning if you address the problem by, guess what, fixing it by a certain date, the ticket goes away or the fine is significantly reduced. Now, if it's a serious offense, like reckless driving or something with potential jail time, talk to an attorney. You can just go on Google or ChatGPT, type in traffic lawyer and your city. They might help you reduce the charges or fight the citation if you have grounds like an improper procedure by the officer or if you have a really good lawyer. Remember, a single ticket does not mean that your car meet days are over, but repeated infractions can lead to bigger fines, possible license suspension, or insurance hikes. If a cop knows you on a first name basis or knows your car, you got a problem, right? So weigh the mods you're going to do against how much you enjoy them. Sometimes compliance or subtlety might save you major headaches down the line. And look, guys, shooting flames, rolling coal, stuff like that, it draws more attention. If you don't want attention from both your peers and the cops, don't do things like that. At the end of the day, cops showing up to your car meet can be a buzzkill or a minor inconvenience. How you handle it can spell the difference between driving home worry-free and dealing with a stack of tickets. Remember, the cops are there because someone complained or someone is concerned about safety, noise, or illegal activities. If you and your fellow enthusiasts keep things chill, no burnouts, no two-step, no trespassing, no bad stuff I can't say on YouTube, there's a good chance you're just going to avoid serious drama. Again, cannot state this enough. This is not legal advice. Laws differ by city, state, and country. If you want absolute clarity, talk to an attorney or dive into local statutes yourself. But the general playbook is keep your car as legal as you can. Know when you're free to go. Politely decline searches if you're uncomfortable and are within your rights to do so. And treat officers with courtesy even if you disagree with them. They are just doing their job. They're human beings just like you. Usually you'll walk away unscathed or at least minimize the fallout. Meets are fun. You show off your build, you meet new friends, you see people you haven't seen in a while, you're hanging out, whatever. Just remember that once the cops show up, the vibe does change. If you stay cool, you stay as legal as you possibly can, and you stay respectful, you stand the best chance of driving off under your own power instead of watching your car on the back of a flatbed from the backseat of a cop car. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If there's any similar topic or anything completely different you want us to cover, drop a comment down below. One caveat here, a lot of what I talked about does not apply in the state of California. It has very unique automotive laws. If you are in California, good luck. There's a reason that our business is not in the state of California anymore. So, if you enjoyed the video, drop a comment down below. If you didn't enjoy the video, drop a comment down below. If you're a cop looking for new ways to catch people at car meets and you're watching this video for that reason, heck, drop a comment down below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, pick up some new wheels, especially if they got tires on them, like these ones. Might be out of frame. Over there. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.